Today's daily code problem of the day is number of zero-filled subarrays, number 2348. For this problem, we're given an integer array called nums, and we want to return the number of subarrays filled with 0. So, a subarray in this problem is a contiguous, non-empty sequence of elements within an array, meaning that we can't move numbers around, and they have to come in order as we find them. So, we could look here at example 1 and identify our subarrays. The output here is 6, but there's only 4 zeros. So how did we get 6? Well, we can look at each 0 itself as an initial subarray. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 initial subarrays, and then we have a subarray of 2 here and a subarray of 2 here, adding up to a total of 6 subarrays. That's basically what they do here. Let's go ahead and look at example 2 as well. So we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 4, 5 zeros. So there's 5 occurrences of just 0. And then there's 1 occurrence, 2 occurrence, 3 occurrences of 0, 0. And then there's only 1 occurrence of 0, 0, 0. So looking here at the examples, we can identify a kind of pattern on how they count the occurrences. We can see that they count each occurrence as it appears, right? So there's 4 singles and 2 doubles. There's 5 singles, 3 doubles, and 1 triple. So we're going to want to count it the same way. We're going to count each occurrence as it appears. So we'll keep a running track of how many numbers are currently in our subarray. And for example, let's take this 0, 0, 0 here. So we have 0, 0, 0. And we have a value called R, which is going to be our run. We're going to have a value called A, which is going to be our answer. So run is going to say, okay, we're going to look at the first 0. That's a 0. So we're going to add it to our run. So we have 1 in our run. We're going to look at our second 0. Okay, that's also a 0. So now we're going to update our run from 1 to 2. We're going to look at the third 0. Okay, so our run is 3. However, as we're updating our run counter, we're also going to be updating our answer. So we have run is equal to 1, so we're going to add 1 to answer. Okay. Boom, we have another 0. So now run is going to be updated to 2. We're going to add that to our answer. Okay, so we have a third 0 here. All right, run's going to be updated to 3, and we're going to also add that to our answer. So that accounts for a total of 6. And how many possible subarrays can we get out of these 3? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can see as we count each occurrence as it appears, we're able to get the total sum of possible occurrences in that subarray. So let's go ahead and jump into solving this. First thing we're going to notice is we're going to be dealing with longs here because of extreme cases like this. So we're going to use longs instead of integers. So we're going to have a long called our run value, which is going to keep track of our current length run. We're going to have a long called answer, which is going to be our answer. And so we're going to loop through a single time to save time. And we're going to say for each integer n in our nums array, if n is equal to a 0, then we're going to update our run by 1. So run has increased in length. And then we'll right away add that run to our answer because we've seen a new 0, which means we've discovered a new subarray, plus however many previous subarrays could have been identified as well. Otherwise, we're going to say, okay, run is equal to 0. We looked at something that is not 0, so we're going to reset the run counter. And it's as simple as that. We can then return our answer. So if we run this, passes our test cases, and if we submit it, passes all solutions. So thank you, and follow for more daily LeetCode solutions, and let me know if you have any comments or questions in the comment section down below.